Hello everybody, welcome back to IA Command. This is TV Boy and we've got another game log review from our March Vassal Tournament. And by the way, this game is actually from round 3 of Swiss. I think when I recorded this, I mistakenly thought it was round 2 for some reason. So if you hear anything like that, just know that's a mistake. Both players were undefeated at 2-0 going into this game, so important to note that. And we've got Josh at the top playing the return of Weekways. So we've got double Weekway Pirates, Jabba the Hutt, Onar Koma, Fennec Shand, and Bib Fortuna, a regular Jawa, so the 2-point version, along with Garrido. And let me throw the Weekways up here for those that maybe are unfamiliar with them because we don't see them quite as often in ICP anymore. But Josh is doing quite well with them in this tournament, at least, and might be in no small part due to the recent map rotation that happened in March, which brought in this map, the ISB Training Grounds. It's a map that is very wide open and long hallways, and it's very difficult to close the gap for certain figures, and I think that is contributing to the success, the renewed success of the Weequay Pirates, who used to be quite the powerhouse cards in the FFG days. But that was, again, they had a very favorable map rotation during FFG's tenure of the game. They had maps like Nalhutta Swamps and Lothal Wastes and Moss Isley back alleys that they all just kind of look like this map, ISB Training Grounds. Just big, long hallways between the deployment zones, very hard to find cover in the middle of the map. So I think that is why that's happening. And then Destruct is playing a Rebel list. He is playing a good old Rebel standby for IACP, which is going to be Han Solo with Rogue Smuggler. We've got Kotun, which I will throw up on the screen here, who gives out power tokens. We've got Cassian, who gives out power tokens. We've got Jin Odon, a good smuggler. Gideon Argus, R2D2, C3PO. The new addition is Bodhi Rook, which works great with Kotun and Cassian here. And then finally, we've got a regular Alliance smuggler. He's also got, let's see, oh, nothing, no skirmish upgrades, so just the figures. But that means he is at 9 activations, which is going to be good for this map and for Han. And we are playing on the infiltration games mission. So this is one where you have to pick up the taps here at the back of the deployment zones for both players, and a figure can interact to retrieve the tap, and then a figure that's carrying a tap can interact with one of these panels here. And if they are able to place a tap and install it on one of these panels with an action, then at the end of each round they'll get 4 VPs. However, once a tap is installed on a panel, that panel can be attacked and they only have 5 health and 1 block as defense. So they are very squishy once you install the panels, so you have to be careful about your timing on when you choose to install those. They're also very action intense. Alright, so this is Josh's deployment here in the red zone. It looks like, who has initiative? Oh, Destruct has initiative. And you can see Destruct has already spilled out without activating, spilled out of his deployment zone. That's because we've got Smooth Landing from Bodhi Rook. And interesting, he looks like he used Bodhi to slide, he slid Bodhi backwards towards the tap while still benefiting from the smooth landing ability. I like that move a lot. That's very clever. He's also got Cassian with Strike Team. Gives 2 movement points to Cassian and another figure at the start of the round, at the start of deployment phase or after deployment. And then gives power tokens to all figures, or up to 4 figures that are outside the deployment zone. So Destruct able to get a lot of pre-game movement here from Bodhi and Cassian. And he's also got a good advantage here with the Smuggler, which has, what is it, Smuggler's Instincts, I think. And when you perform and interact with this special action, he gets to move 2 spaces afterwards. So Going to be really good with the smuggler as long as he opens his door. Although he could even pick up the tap and open the door in one activation. He won't be able to keep moving because Smuggler's Instincts is a special action, but it makes the smuggler quite good at installing taps on these panels, as well as flipping them in the other mission. So Destruct is actually a rookie, as I would call him. I believe he joined us during the season at the end of the playtest period of Season 9, but he's already established himself as quite a good player. He actually took first place in our March competitive league. We had an asynchronous league play where players could choose to report their game results, and Destruct just played a ton of games, as many league games as he could, and was able to take first place for March. And by the way, we are still doing that. We're going to be doing that every month. So you can play league games by reporting your game results in the Discord in async league reporting or async game results. And you too can be on the skirmish leaderboard. All right, so let's get into the game here. I feel like we've talked quite enough. So we've got, again, Destruct is going to have the initiative, and he's got 9 activations, so there's not going to be any passing here. Josh has deployed Greedo and Fennec as his tap carriers. And do we already see an activation? Oh no, Josh is just fixing. No, he's going to have the Jawa next to the tap, but Fennec is also standing there too. So he's giving himself options. And Josh has quite a few figures. He's got 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 small figures plus Jabba makes 10. So Josh has lots of figures that Destruct is going to have to work on killing, because it's very hard to get VPs off the objectives in this mission. It's just so easy to destroy those panels once the tap is installed. You're basically only able to get VPs if you install it at the end of the round. Otherwise, it's just so easy to attack them. Alright, so we're starting off with 3PO for Destruct. Going to focus up Jin Odon and move up to the terminal hallway. Josh activating Jabba first. Going to draw a card and focus up one of the weak ways. Gideon going to activate for Destruct. Going to focus Han and make him move 2 spaces next to 3PO. And now you can see just how far out Han is able to start here. He could easily double move all the way up into Josh's side of the map and be able to get a focused end of round attack. Bib Fortuna going to play Planning for Josh. Let's draw 2 more cards. Josh does not have Smuggling Compartment, and I believe... and then Destruct does have a spy in his list, which is Cassian. So Josh drawing a lot of cards, could be opening himself up to a strat shift here from Cassian. But Biv focusing the other weak way in the B group. So both B group weak ways focused. R2-D2 gonna draw a card for Destruct. Also positioning R2 so that R2 could open that door next round and still draw a card if he needed to, and be a great line of sight blocker. Alright, interesting. The Jawa going to move onto the terminal, but not going to pick up one of the taps. So it's going to be Greedo or Fennec picking up those taps. Also call out that it looks like Kotun gave an evade token to Han in the deployment phase, who also got a damage power token from Cassian, and now Kotun is giving another evade token to Jin Odon this time. And such a great combination of these power token abilities with Kotun, who prevents dodges and gives rerolls. And then we've got Bodhi, who's also adding +2 accuracy now if you spend a power token. So lots of synergy in this Rebel list for sure. Alright, I see Planning being played by... Oh, it's being played by Kotun. It's great, she's a leader. So just drawing 2 cards and moves Kotun next to 3PO. Everybody crowding around 3PO here for the distracting bonus, but also really a nice place to marshal your strength if you're the blue deployment zone. Onar just going to move up, interesting, 4 spaces, and then stopping right there. Bodhi going to pick up the tap, and then move 4 spaces. Actually, moved 3 spaces. Interestingly, 1, 2, 3. So he has positioned Bodhi here so that if he opens his door next round, Bodhi could move 4 spaces and install the tap on the panel. Okay, and it looks like the A group of Weakways is going to move forward and use their Prowl special action to become hidden. One of the things that makes Weakways really strong is that they can really, as the Zion's finest guys call it, gin up in round 1 with focus and hidden, thanks to their Prowl ability. Now, normally, when you see 2 groups of Weakways in a list, in the old days of FFG, you would see also Gideon being played alongside the Elite Jawa, so you could get 3 focuses from Jabba, Gideon, and 3PO. However, Josh is playing Bib Fortuna, who brings a very powerful ability in his own right to basically turn every card in your hand into positioning advantage. So he can't play 3 focusers unless he played something like First Strike, which would put him at a VP disadvantage. Alright, and I should mention Cassian has opened the door to Dark's deployment zone and then moves back to a very safe spot behind that blocking terrain. And that's a great spot for the smuggler to be standing because it's actually very difficult to draw line of sight to the smuggler when he is standing in this spot from Josh's side of the map. Even though it looks kind of exposed from there, you'd actually have to get pretty close. I believe you would have to get all the way up here to draw line of sight for Josh from Josh's side of the map. Let's see, does that even work? I don't think so, actually. No, my line is probably off. So I think you can draw line of sight from here, but I'll have to double check. Anyway, Fennec Shan going to pick up the tap for Josh. Now, note that he's got Fennec and Greedo doing the tap duty, and they are both speed 5. So that's going to make it easier for them to get to the panels when they need to. And Fennec going to move up just behind the door. Okay, and that smuggler is going to pick up that tap with Smuggler's Instincts, able to move 2 spaces. So we're going to be able to move 6 spaces there. And a nice position for him. The cool thing is also with Smuggler's Instincts, you get to interact with the panel. So he gets to move 6 when he does the panel as well. So Alliance Smuggler is really good on this map, both missions. Alright, and now the B group of Weakways are going to move up and going to hide as well. Jin Odon. What is Jin doing? Whoa, Jin moving up to threaten Josh's figures, but Destruct is not going to have initiative next round unless he has Take already in his hand. But he has to worry about negation here. And his Jin Odon's pretty exposed there. Let's see, but that is his. Oh, it's not even his last activation. But he's feeling pretty safe from Greedo. Although Josh could forego the tap here, move Greedo right here, and actually take a shot at Jin and not have to worry about slowing the draw because of this Weequay. But he is going to pick up the tap. And they're going to move to that spot. It's not going to attack. It is kind of a long shot for Greedo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Yeah, range 7 with autofocus. That is tough for Greedo with 2. He does have 2 green dice with +1 accuracy and Surge for +3 accuracy. But against an evade token on Jin, I think it makes sense to just pick up the tap there. But now Han is going to have the last activation. And we're going to stand in front of Jin Odon. Interesting. Now, interestingly, he could have put Han here. That would have left Jin with line of sight to the 2 Weakways, A1 and B2, which would have opened up more opportunities for a quick draw from Jin. Should Should Josh have made the mistake of activating one of those Weequay groups? But looks like he's going to put Han there instead. It's unlikely that Josh would have done that, but it does leave options open. And you don't really need the extra accuracy here so much from Han. Han's going to get his end of round, probably going to be able to take out one of these focused Weequays. I guess they are hidden, so that does need to be accounted for, but I feel like Bodhi pretty much just negates hidden with his ability. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's pretty much range 6 if he spends this power token. So that is going to be the end of round 1. And here's the end of round shot from Han. You can't see it here, but Rogue Smuggler is the -2 attachment that gives Han his end of round attack and also gives him a reroll. It's going to spend the power token. Oh, okay. On the lamb from the Weequay. Going to protect. Got to protect that investment of those hidden and focus tokens. So Weequay going to move back, and that's going to spend Han's offense and power token and focus. So that was rough for Destruct for sure. Does get the on the lamb out of the hand at least, but now it's going to be Josh's initiative. Does Destruct have the take? I see Bodhi being exhausted. There it is. The take initiative is there up on the map. So, and it looks like Bodhi's being exhausted, so Josh doesn't have negation. Alright, so Han's going to get to activate first here, but not quite as impressive of an attack. Now actually does have to deal with the hidden. It's going to be range 8, which isn't too bad for Han. Normally, unfocused Han, you want to be attacking like range 7. Oh, that's not such a great roll. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 against hidden. He does have surge for +2 accuracy at least. So 4, 5. Oh, I think he's gonna be just short. He does have a reroll though, so I think he's gonna. Oh no, he rerolled into the bad accuracy on the green die. So I think that's a miss. Yeah, that is gonna be a miss. Again, range 7 is kind of the sweet spot for Han. Range 8, you do open up to missing a little more often. Somebody who spends way too much time with the damage calculator when I'm playing with a figure. I've kind of started to internalize a lot of the good ranges for figures like Han. Alright. So now it is going to be Josh's turn, and Jin Odon is going to be in a bit of danger here. Going to activate the B group, and going to expertly block line of sight with B2 to B1. So Weequay with focus and hidden. Jin does have an evade token at least, so she should survive this, I think. So I'm going to spend the evade token, which gives her an extra block from cunning. Oh, wow, that's a really good roll. No, she blanks. She needed to not blank out against that amazing roll. 5, 6, 7, Pierce 1. I guess the Weequay can make her reroll. So what are we looking at? 7, Pierce 1. No, the Surge doesn't stay there. It's just 7, so she's going to take 6 damage here. Yep. But if Destruct doesn't have... Oh, what happened? Did she die? Was there an Assassinate? Oh, Assassinate gets played to add the +3 damage. So that is going to kill Jin Odon. Unfortunate for Destruct there. And Destruct's feeling pretty unconfident about the game result, the possibility of here, but rallies and says, let's see if we can make a comeback. That is the absolute attitude of a winner. Even when you make a mistake and things are not looking good, you have to have that mental and emotional resolve to say, I started playing this game and I'm going to play it out to the end. And you see what you can do and see if you can turn things around. He still has Han. I mean, Jin Odon is a figure you sacrifice generally. It's a figure I often will sacrifice for tempo and positioning plays. This was a bad sacrifice because he didn't get any value out of Jin here. Didn't even get to activate her. It was a little bit too aggressive with the positioning there. But you can absolutely come back. He still has Han, he still has Cassian, he still has Kotun, and you can make a lot of good plays with those figures. Just needs to retreat back and find a better opening. And opportunistic being played by Josh. Oh, not going to play it. Oh, going to use Destruct using negation on the opportunistic. Okay, and then B1 going to just stay put. Okay, and it looks like 3PO activating to focus Cassian. And Bib now going to spend a VP from that Jin Odon kill to focus both the weak ways in A group. We're now both focused in him. Yeah, this is a lot of firepower to deal with here. R2 going to draw a card for Destruct. Jabba going to draw a card for Josh and focus up Greedo. Destruct's going to pass now that he is down an activation from Jin Odon and had the initiative there. Okay, Josh is Jawa going to open the door and then move back to stand next to Fennec. And now the Alliance Smuggler going to move up and install the tap. And then moves back. Now standing in a bit of an exposed space, though. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's a much better spot. It's much harder to see that space from where Josh is. Okay, Onar just going to activate and stand in one spot. So now Josh is kind of gets to sit on his laurels a bit here. You can see he even opened his door, inviting a shootout in the middle because Josh is up on points. So as long as Josh is up on points, he can just, and he has all this focusing stuff going on and all this draw from Jabba. He can just, and he should have an extra point, although I guess he spent it with Bib. But he can just sit back and wait and force Destruct to come to him. So now the ball is in Destruct's court. But he is in a rough position because Destruct can still attack from here pretty much with impunity. Like if Destruct puts somebody here, they move to attack and move back. He can absolutely this formation is not ironclad of Josh's. So it looks like that's what Destruct is doing. He's moving Kotun to the left. I imagine Cassian will move that direction as well. Oh, not going to do that. Can Kotun do it? I think Kotun can only do it at the start of activation. After point, start of your activation. Yeah, I can't do it at end of activation. Okay, so we just activated Gideon, who focused Han and pushed Han 2 spaces up. Yep, and Destruct in the chat, they're doing text chat, pretty much just repeated what I had just said about the fact that Josh can sit back and just hold his ground and not have to overextend. Josh using Fennec to install the there. This is something that I think Destruct might have to respond to, possibly with an attack from Kotun or Cassian. But it's going to be tough without exposing his figures to a counterattack. Oh yeah, and Greedo is going to have last activation and going to be able to install the tap on the panel without any repercussion here. So So Kotun going to move now to that spot. Oh, I'm going to undo it. Says he has an idea. Doesn't work. Okay, never mind. Yeah, it can be tough to fight the negativity sometimes when you start off in a really bad spot, especially when it's from a mistake. But here we go. All right, Cass going to make the aggressive move here, which we've established he needs to do if he wants to come back here. And he has a great position. That's fantastic. Cassian has Kotun right there within 3 spaces. He's focused. He's got the power token. This is a great attack on Fennec. And this is if he can get the kill on Fennec here. I mean, I think you could absolutely sacrifice Cassian. And in fact, he could get 2 attacks, right? Oh, he has to be within 2 spaces. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. But he still has line of sight from there. Yeah, that's a good spot because now he can sacrifice the Alliance Smuggler who has done his job to get a second attack. And I wonder if you even no, I think you do shoot at I think you have to shoot at Fennec because Fennec has 8 health. But I think you could one-shot Fennec here. Okay, okay. Let's see. Probably the worst defense roll he could have seen. He probably wanted to see a dodge there. Did he not spend the damage token? Or maybe he's saving it for the attack with It Will Be Alright. So never mind. Maybe it's not too bad. Fennec does get plus block, so it looks like we're doing 4 damage to Fennec. Okay. And then going to use It Will Be Alright on the Smuggler. So, yep, you got to do these high risk, high reward plays. But yeah, he saved that power token for the second attack. And let's see. Oh, he needed the range. That's why. So very smart. Didn't go all in on the first attack because he needed the extra range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's range 8. So he only wants that extra range there. And if he hits a dodge, oh, not a dodge. But he is going to have enough range. I mean, he has enough range on the dice, but... oh no, is he 1 damage short? He's 1 short. Oh, that's right, he can reroll now. So he needs to re-roll one of the blues. Probably the blue. Oh no, still 1 short. Yeah, that's unfortunate. And then can move Cassian back, but now Cassian's in a tough spot there. He's probably going to get blown away by the weak ways. And now Greedo going to plant the tap as the last activation for the turn. Problem is, I believe Destruct used Take Initiative this round, so I think Josh is going to get initiative on the upcoming round. Okay, so now Josh is getting 8 VPs. Destruct gets 4 though from his tap. There we go. Yep. Destruct did have initiative that round, so I'm going to pass it back to Josh, who is now 16 points to 4. Not looking good. No end of round for Han there. We do have... Oh, nice. Han has Make My Own Luck. So going to be able to take initiative again, thanks to Han's unique command card. But he has to activate Han. So that's important because it means he can't just retreat Cassian. He could try to use Han to body block for Cassian and would be able to get some return fire shots that way. And then he could move 3PO up to give Han the distracting bonus. I almost feel like that might be the play. But let's see what he does. He's going to go for the attack on the focus hidden weak way. Does need the tempo advantage here for sure to defeat something on Josh's side that hasn't attacked yet. So, ooh, tools for the job. Gonna add a green dice to get the extra range he needs. Although he is focused now. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He is focused, and I feel like with focus 8 is okay, but not gonna risk it. Gonna make sure he has the accuracy he needs. 4 green dice. Um, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's definitely got enough accuracy, and I think he's got the kill here. So takes out the weak way, and then moves back to safety. Yep, we got focused by Gideon last round. Yeah, he had line of sight. Gideon had line of sight to where Han was the previous round. Okay, so destruct goes up to 8. Okay, Fennec going to... Interesting, Josh going to go with Fennec to try and get the kill on Cassian. Oh, with... No, that's not tools. Oh yeah, it is tools because Fennec is a hunter. I wonder if this means Josh has strength in numbers. Oh, dodge! A dodge! Does he have heightened? Oh, Josh had heightened. And that's a lot of damage. I think that's a dead Cassian. And I'm seeing the GGs coming out here. Okay, yep, looks like they're going to call it there. So that was rough. Yeah, very unfortunate.